My approach with studios it's been the same as my approach to life. I want to do it my way, and uh, and I want to control my own brand, and it's just a non-starter with studios. As the Hollywood economic system sits right now, I mean, it's just end of this discussion. And I got offered ridiculous sums of money for this script, um, and uh, and it's just like I wouldn't do it because I knew a studio would fuck it up. So the question was then I need to find someone who's going to finance this, who's going to let me do what I want to do and let me control the brand. Um, I mean, I can't have someone making decisions about what the Tucker Max character is going to do, who's not me, or the guy playing me, because there's no way they're going to make a better decision about it than me, and chances are they're going to get it wrong. It's going to be stupid. So, Darko came along, and if there's anyone in Hollywood who knows how important creative freedom is, Richard Kelly and Sean McKittrick, those guys, and and it was a perfect match. Like they read the script, and they're like, we've never laughed out loud 30 times reading a script. We've never quoted lines to each other from a script in the office. Like we've never. They're like, this script was like, I mean, who knows? I don't know. This is what they said, and so like they read it, they got it immediately, and so they were like, go. Like we don't want to tell you what to do. We want to give you the money, want to help you make the movie, but creatively, you've got your director, you've got your actors. We trust you. Go do it, and that's how it's played out. McKittrick could not be better, could not have been a better producer in terms of making this movie because he knows everything about Hollywood. He knows how to make movies. He knows finance. He knows all that shit that I don't know. 35 millimeter versus Super 16, 3 perf, 4 perf. I don't have any idea. He knows all that shit upside down. And creatively, he just sits in the room and watches. Every now and then he'll be like, okay, do you think about it this way? And I'm like, no, because X, Y, Z. Or I'll say, yes, that's a great idea. Let's do it that way. But, I mean, it couldn't be any better. They're great. Yeah.
Um, Typically, when you have a script that's complete, you go and shop it. A lot of times you shop it to production companies because they're the ones who have all the relationships. Um, you know, they'll, like Darko. I mean, they're not a studio, they're a production company. Um, and you'll go out and they'll read the script and they'll say, let's meet about the script. And they'll talk about creative vision and who do you see playing this and who do you see playing that and what are you looking for and yada yada yada. We pretty early on we knew that we wanted to do this movie with as much control over the creative process as possible. Really, we were in this unique position where studios were coming to us before we were going to studios. The story, the script, and the Tucker Max projects have been floating around Hollywood for, 3.5 years now. So it's not like his name and this book and the work are unfamiliar. So once the word started to spread that there's a script and it's, rumor has it, really good, those smaller Fox Searchlight, Focus, all those guys, Fox Atomic, Dimension, those guys were coming to us saying we want to option the script, or we want to option the whole book, or we want to talk about optioning. And they would throw out numbers that, as the months went by, got increasingly bigger. But we would sit down with them and we would tell them, this is the deal. We want full creative control. This is Tucker's name. That's what, he would go in there and he would say, this is my name. I'm not going to let you fucking suits who, you guys, you 35-year-olds with MBAs and not a single creative word to your name dick up my name. I mean, the book has sold 350,000 copies with no mainstream press because it was true to the person who wrote it. It was authentic. It was unique. You hand it over to a studio who's throwing, Hayden Christensen and Jumper because they're scared. Who knows where you'll end up? Who knows? I mean, and that was something that Tucker could not even stomach, and I was 100% behind. I mean, you talk about, in music, people always talk about artists selling out, when in reality, they just got popular because people realized they were good. And then there are the people who truly sold out and sold their catalog to Pepsi or wrote songs specifically for Pepsi or things like that, who truly sold out for the money. This would be, it wouldn't be selling out but everybody would think it would be selling out because a studio could take his name and turn Tucker Max into a joke, like a clown. Like they could, if they didn't give us creative control, they could turn him into anything they wanted to turn him into. Maybe somebody with some sense keeps the script on the same track it's on now, but the likelihood of that happening is 5%. It's the reason why people want this project so much, is because nobody's ever written a character like this before. And if nobody's ever written a character like this before, or endeavored to make a movie about a character like this before, you honestly think any of these people will be able to pull it off? I highly doubt it. And we were fully aware of that. No one more aware than Tucker. So we got all these offers and we got all this interest, and it just never went anywhere because no one was willing to understand. They may have understood it, but they were not willing to see the point that we wanted creative control. We want to be able to say who is cast, who directs, what it looks like, how it sounds, what the music is. And finally, as interest really started to peak and hit critical mass, we met with Darko. And Tucker gave his usual pitch. Our money guys and the people that we've worked with, they thought Darko would be a good fit, but they weren't sure because, you never know. I mean, these guys are now a production company based off the success of Darko, which is a phenomenal movie. Richard Kelly and Sean McKittrick and Ted Hamm and those guys, they, after Darko, they had their ducks in a row, and they came into the meeting, and Tucker gave them the spiel, and they were the first group who understood what we were talking about. They understood that, this is Tucker's name on it, and if he doesn't have creative control, or we as a unit don't have creative control over the creative vision that we've agreed upon and understood would be what really drives this movie, it could turn out to be a piece of shit. And Darko said, we'll give you, we'll finance the whole thing, and you give us, and you get creative control. And, you sacrifice stuff for creative control in terms of, money and things like that, but money's not the most important thing. Money's just money. Your name is, to a lot of people, your name is all you've got. And that was what was on the line.